I'm nervous. Can you tell? So today's video, oh boy, we started. I can't go back now. So today's video I'm trying this one take tutorial style. Now listen, tutorial, this is not gonna be, I mean, I'm just gonna be doing my makeup. I'm not teaching anyone anything, but it's just kind of getting ready together. One take, no editing. I mean, I'll be editing, honestly, because I'm gonna put little products on the screen wherever I decide to put them. So at least you can see it. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, dang, I can't even like splice a way to do a close-up of the product because that I could have, you know what I mean? It defeats the purpose. Okay. Oh boy, I can't edit any of this out. I just want to make sure I don't pick my nose or anything embarrassing. Okay, so today, the first thing, all right, I got to tell you my idea for this video. So I was kind of going through my stash. I'm kind of in that mode of shopping my stash right now, clearly based on the past few videos I've done. And I was thinking about it and I was like, I could just basically use products I haven't used in a long time, or at least ones I haven't talked about recently. Kind of similar, but different from the other video I just recently did. Okay, we got to get started. So I've already moisturized my face. I'm trying to go fast because I want this over because I'm So first thing we're going to use, I just haven't used in a while, the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer. Oh my gosh. I'm like trying to like swallow my spit. I'm sounding insane. I like this stuff. This is like one of those things that's pretty darn inexpensive, and I think it adds a nice glow to the face. And I just obviously put it on just before I put on foundation. It's another one that I feel like I don't like to blend in too much because if I do, the glow goes away. Does that make sense? So, is anyone else as obsessed with The Bachelor as I am? I blame all of you guys because I did not care about any of that. I was like, I don't get it. And I remember even watching like the beginning of maybe The Bachelorette, and I was like, this is dumb. And so we turned it off. But then this Bachelor, we were like, we'll just try it. So we started a few episodes in and watched them all. And I was like, oh no. And now I like actually care. I know it's nonsense. I know it usually doesn't work out because of course it doesn't. They know each other for like a few months, but long story short, now I'm like following a lot of them on Instagram, and like McKenna, who's really like on Instagram, like that was her whole job. I like look at her stories all the time. It is so interesting to me. Anyway. Now you guys have to awkwardly watch me like sip my coffee through my straw through the Invisalign. Usually I edit that out. Okay. So another product I feel like I don't talk about a lot is the NARS Sheer Glow. I hesitate to call this a foundation because I don't really feel, I don't know. I mean, it's got like lighter coverage, but this I really do feel like is best applied with your fingers. And I think they even say to apply it with your fingers. It can be really nice. So I just put it everywhere. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, speaking of like shopping my stash and stuff, I was trying to think about like how I can kind of have some kind of idea of how I want to control how many products I'm using, other than, this is all over my lips, that's so gross. Because I feel like I want to buy new things every month to be able to talk about and do speed reviews about and, you know, have different favorites perhaps. But I don't want it to feel like, you know, every month I'm buying like 20 new products because that's silly. But I still like trying new products. Okay. Doesn't that look nice? It takes a minute to like sink in, I think. And that's why like with your hands, I just think it's best. But it does still have like that. Why don't I reach for this more? That looks really nice. And it looks nice over that Essence Fresh and Fit too. Cool. Oh, by the way, the shade I have is Light 2.5 Yukon. I think that's the best match for me, honestly. Okay. So I was thinking about it here. What am I doing next? Oh, concealer. Next I'm doing, I haven't used this in a hot minute, the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage. I know they have a hydrating version. I haven't tried that yet. I like this though. I think is it like dried up? Oh no, I think it's like, well, did I use it? I know there was a while where I did use it a lot, but I don't know, maybe it's not. I feel like it's kind of getting dried up in there. Gross. Well, maybe I will try the hydrating version sooner rather than later. But this, I liked this stuff. And I feel like this color match, this is C4, works really well for me so it's not crazy bright on the under eye. Now I need my water. Anyway, so here's what I was thinking. I was thinking for me, for this year, 2020, even though we're nearly 3 months into it, well, I guess 2. I was thinking it might be fun to kind of say every month I'm going to try like 3 drugstore products or 3 high-end products. Or maybe like, but see, I don't even know that I want to try 3 high-end products every month. That seems like a lot. But like drugstore especially, I feel like there's always new stuff coming out, and there are things I'm genuinely interested in myself. So like figuring out, is there a magic number for me? Like maybe every month I try 5 things. And within that 5, it could be all drugstore, all high-end, or a mix 3 drug, you know. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Is that I feel like that's a good number. It's not overwhelming. I can certainly try them over the course of the month and decide how I feel. But also if there's a month I want to try like 10 things, do I really want to put a number on it? Because what are your thoughts? I don't know. I was just thinking about that while I was showering the other day, and I was like, I guess I could do something like that. We'll see. Okay, so that, I just feel like that blends really nicely, really easily. This does get into your fine lines. If you have fine lines that just won't quit, then there you go. I've got eye bags that just won't quit. I was even using my little roller this morning and doing all that, and those eye bags are like, ha 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 ha. Good try, Jessica. We're not going anywhere. All right. Oh, I really can't edit. Like sometimes I make jokes that I think are funny, but I edit them out because I'm like, certainly those are dumb. And that would have been one of them that I would have thought about editing out. All right, here we are. Actually, I had grabbed this Milk Makeup like loose powder, and I'm not certain that I even want it. I kind of like the way my skin looks today. However, it is rainy and I'm planning on going out and running some errands. So I'm like, maybe powder would be a good idea to kind of keep everything more in place. So we'll see. I might come back to that. I'm going to do my brows. I always use my LA Girl, so I figured I would give my Covergirl one that I love some love. It's the shade Soft Brown. It's like very, 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 very similar to the LA Girl one. I will say this. I went through my collection and decluttered like my Anastasia dip brows because I now don't have a shade match. I used to be medium brown. And now I bought a new one and it is not the same. It pulls way too warm. So I was like, okay, so then I bought either taupe or ash brown, one of the whatever. And that also didn't work. It was closer, but it still wasn't right. I'm like, dang. So I ended up decluttering those because I wasn't using them. And then the only other like pomade I had was the one from Arches and Halos or whatever from Target. Guess what? That one cracked and dried out. I'm like, I just bought it. So I will say, even though that the Arches and Halos is half the price as the Anastasia Dip Brow, the Anastasia Dip Brow lasts years without drying out. At least mine did. And that one lasted literally like maybe 6 months, and it cracked, and I was trying to get it out. It's completely dried out. I'm like, and I don't like leave them open or anything. So just saying, it might be worth the money if you know it's going to end up not getting all dried and cracked out to just get the Anastasia one. But anyway, I'm wanting to try some pomades again. It's been a while. I always use pencils, but I go through phases where I really like pomades too. So I'm like, well, maybe I should get another one, but I don't know what to do. Like there's not one that really matches very well. And it's so hard, like drugstore, like I know L'Oreal makes pomade, a lot of them do, but you can't really shade match yourself in store typically. Maybe Ulta will have some open, but like most drugstores don't. I wish they did. Do you have drugstores near you that do have like swatchers and testers and stuff? I feel like all of them should. Anyway, you guys are seeing me do my brows in all their glory. I still contemplate getting my brows microbladed. I can't make the commitment. I'm so terrified that it won't go well. And I know a lot of you guys are like, well, Jessica, you could just like dye your brows at home. And I know like Taylor Wynn does that. That also makes me nervous. So especially like getting the right match for me, since even this, I feel, I like the Covergirl, but I feel like it pulls a little warmer than my hair. You know what I mean? I don't know. And my dad said the other day, and it like scarred me. He said, Jessica, you know, I would love to see you with like your brows not as dark. And I'm like, and I don't feel like my brows themselves are dark enough as they are to just leave them alone. So I don't know. I'm in a really weird limbo right now. I don't really want to talk about it. Okay. So what do you think? Okay, for me, the one take tutorials, the first time I saw one was actually pretty recently. It was Ingrid Nielsen here on YouTube, who used to be like beauty focused, and now she kind of does everything, a little bit of everything. She talks about life and self-development and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, she'll talk about skincare and makeup too. She has done a couple of these now, and I just think she's charming. I think she's one of those people that now that she has freed herself from a lot of things she was kind of hiding from the public, if you will. That sounds really bad. And I'm happy for her. I'm so happy for where she is. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so I feel like now that she's being herself more, she feels free, and you can see that in her videos. And so I just find her so charming. Anyway, she did this, and she's like good at it. I feel like the first one she ever did, she was nervous like I am. And now she's like, it's like getting into a warm bath, baby. She just feels comfortable and confident. And I know she has a podcast, and I like listening to her talk. I'm surprised I haven't pulled up her podcast. I feel like I went through a phase a few years ago where I listened to podcasts a lot, especially like I listened to a lot of Disney podcasts. I really just don't anymore. I think part of it is I don't commute to work. We do take Genevieve to our parents' house twice a week. And so that would be a part, like I could be listening to it, but that's when I'm like, I want to listen to music. Like, I don't know. Speaking of music, we are just really following my train of thought here. My brows are not even. We saw the Lumineers the other day, and they were awesome. I think Tyler does not love them as much as I do, though. And so we were with some friends of ours. And so him and our friend Glenn were just like chatting the whole time because they were like, they're okay. Me and my friend Laura love them. So I'm like, next year, I'm just going alone with Laura. Those boys can stay home. Little stinkers. Anyway, we loved it. It was so much fun. They're so good. Their songs are stories. That's what I was saying in my Instagram story about it. And they're so good. I don't know how else to put it. They're just fantastic. They're one of my favorites. Easily one of my favorites. Okay. What else? I feel like my dad, I can always hear him swallow the coffee. And now you guys can hear me swallow the coffee. All right. I got to throw some powder under my eyes because I can just see these bad boys. So I am going to use that Milk Makeup. What is it actually called? Just translucent light powder. I don't even see the name. Oh, it's on the back. Jessica, the Blur and Set. I do love the packaging for this. Like, there's the little mesh area. So I need, like, a smaller brush for this. I'm at that point where I desperately need to wash my brushes. It's, like, not even a game anymore, and it is not funny. But I think I'm just going to set that maybe a little bit of my T-zone. We'll see. But the mesh net just makes it so easy to, like, get powder on your brush. I wish all of them were made like this. I don't mind the Milk Makeup one. The way that one is set up is not Milk. This is the Milk. The Hourglass one, I like the way that one's set up too. It's not a mesh net, but it's kind of similar where there's like a little reservoir for it, but it's not overwhelming. The way like just like the Maybelline Fit Me, love that one. That one can be a little bit overwhelming because the powder just gets everywhere. So what else can we talk about? I don't know. Today is a very rainy Monday. And, I'm going to use the Colourpop Double Entendre palette. I'm pretty sure they still sell this. I really like it. I just haven't talked about it in a while. It's a really nice, easy to use, I think, everyday palette for me. And so I'm just going to do a look I would do many days. There's just, I feel like Colourpop's shadow formula is incredible. It really is. Like, it's so rare to find a dud in their palettes, truly. It's certainly possible. But, I mean, especially their shimmers. I just feel like they're so pretty and easy to work with. And, I just love that. I'm also feeling real decluttery lately. It's like that spring cleaning, that spring fever. I don't know what you want to call it. But I'm talking not my makeup. I'm talking my closet. Like, I'm trying to wear shirts I haven't worn in a long time. And as I'm looking at them, like, I've lost weight from having the baby. And if you've ever lost a good amount of weight where you were wearing a different size, then you know that feeling of, okay, well, now that I'm at a different size, I want some fresh clothes. I want clothes that actually fit me, and I'm feeling better. So I want clothes that reflect that, I guess. I don't know. When I was a little bit more overweight, I wanted clothes that were a little looser. And frankly, I don't want anything like super fitted even still. But you know what I mean? I feel like I deserve that. And so I definitely am thinking about this week going out and buying a couple of new tops that like I love, that are going to be staples, because I feel like, especially when I was a little bit heavier, I didn't want to invest in crazy expensive stuff either, because I knew that, well, I was hoping eventually I would lose some of the weight and be back to maybe closer to where I was before having the baby. long story short, I think I might shop this week and buy a couple of new pieces for myself. And I also feel like a lot of my shirts are just worn out. The ones from before I was pregnant that I can fit in again are just worn out. I'd had them for years, and so I don't know. We'll see what actually happens, but that's kind of where my head is at. It's exciting. And even like my jeans, I love my Target jeans, but they're starting to get a little bit big on me and looser like at the top. They'll still be fitted around like the booty, but at the top they're a little looser, which is good, not complaining. But just generally, I feel like I'm tired of having to pull them up every time I like sit down and then get back up. So instead of buying those kinds of things online, I'm like, I need to be better about if I'm going to buy or invest in like new jeans, I need to go to a store, try a bunch on, and actually find ones I like, because I always buy things online and then I'm usually pretty happy about it. So I did buy some new Target jeans that I love in store, the right size. So I'm happy about those, but I just want like maybe one or two more pairs that are just going to last me a long time, because those get dirty and then I'm like, well, I haven't done laundry and I need more jeans. Okay, that's all I want to do for eyeshadow, just something simple. I have not put shadow or liner on my lower lash line in a month. I just haven't wanted to. I've just been really digging the kind of more doe-eyed look with just liner on the top, nothing on the bottom, a little bit of mascara, but that's it. I feel like sometimes when I put shadow on the bottom, it ages me a little bit. And here's something. I might just be in my head, okay? So just hear me out, okay? Lately, anytime we have been out, like for dinner or whatever, and we've ordered a glass of wine, I haven't been carded in a long time. And it's not that deep. I mean, it's, you know, but at the same time, suddenly this past month, when I haven't been putting anything on my lower lash line but mascara, I have been carded every time. And I'm like, well, it must have been the liner. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things that I've noticed it and I find that interesting. Who knows? All right, so I didn't have another liner to use. I'm just gonna use my Maybelline Gel Eye Studio. It's the only gel liner I have and I use it every day. So I was like, I guess I could like buy some other gel liner. I'm like, no, that's not the point of this video. So here we are. Ooh, I need a little puff though. Bear with me. Okay. I just love gel liner. I have loved it since high school, I feel like. It's like the only liner that won't fail me. Like it does not budge. You put it on and it doesn't move. It's not running. If I cry, it's not going anywhere. It's just so good. This is hard to do while keeping you guys entertained though. So I don't worry too much about this being perfect, because I always, unless I run out of time, go over it with a liquid liner just to kind of clean up the edges. So this is just to kind of get a base of all that blackness that's not going to move. So I feel like we're kind of in a rut, totally going back to The Bachelor. I feel like we're in a rut with like shows to watch, because a lot of our shows are like off or they're on like vacation. I don't know what's going on, but I just feel like a lot of the ones we watch are either almost done, like Schitt's Creek we love, and I think the last season is out or whatever. So a lot of Superstore we love. Is that one back right now? I don't remember. But other than like those shows, we need like a new comedy. We've watched most of them though, is the problem. One that Tyler watches is The Good Place, and I have not watched. I've seen bits when he's watching it. So I think that's one I might go back and watch. And we've also been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh boy. It's not one you watch with kids. Like, you know what I mean? There are certainly inappropriate parts, but it makes me laugh. And there's just so many things in that I've literally only watched this newest season, so I can't wait to go back and watch all of the old seasons. And I know there was like seasons way long ago before it got picked back up or whatever. I just find it so funny. It's just stuff that happens to Larry David, the main guy, Larry David, is so just random, very specific things that happen in life that you think about but you don't think about. And it's way more specific than like what stand-up comedians even talk about. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I find that show so funny. The liner I'm using is the Revolution Renaissance Flick. Again, it's the only liquid liner I have right now, and I didn't want to like buy a different one just for this portion. Oh, I gotta be like quiet and focus for this part. Oh, that does not look good. Everyone be quiet and hold your breath, please. I cannot talk during this. I'm sorry, you guys. This is very serious business, can't you tell? I do need a coffee break. Hold on. Oh, here's another new thing. This is really just maybe I should call it a one-take chit chat get ready with me, because this is not a tutorial. We all knew it was not going to be a tutorial. But we have been trying intermittent fasting. Guys, hold on. Just hold on. So when I first heard of it, I was like, no, I will not be fasting. Thank you very much. I do not survive fasting. Like, I can't do it. Basically, it's this notion that, and it sounds extreme at first. Like, we were telling someone we know about it, and they were like, oh, that sounds extreme. I'm like, no, bear with me. Basically, it's where you fast for 16 hours and eat for 8. When I first heard that, I said, yeah, I am not going 16 hours without eating. Think about it this way. We basically stop eating at 8 p.m., which is very normal. We will have eaten dinner by then, maybe had dessert if we wanted it, and that's it. So if we're going to bed by 10, that's no big deal. And then we don't eat again until noon the next day. So like right now, it's like 10 something, yeah, like 10:45. So you can drink coffee, tea, water in that time where you are fasting. I'm doing what's called a clean fast versus a dirty fast. Where basically a dirty fast would be like you can have under 35 calories or something like that. So like if you had to have half and half or a little bit of creamer in your coffee. But some studies have shown, again, I'm not a dietitian. Please don't come for me in the comments. I'm just explaining what I'm doing and what I've learned. Basically just that there's some science behind that maybe that gets your metabolism going too early in the day if you do put half and half because of the little, I don't know if it's true, guys. But I drink black coffee anyway, so it wasn't that big of a switch for me to just stick with black coffee. I will say this, I have lost a few pounds doing it, and I've only done it for like a week and a half. I am also, though, watching what I eat. I'm not just eating whatever I want. I've heard some people say they do intermittent fasting, and they eat whatever they want in the 8-hour window, and they still lose weight. So, I don't know. There's a lot of science behind it. It has to do with your insulin levels and all this. You can look into it if you want. Just something we're trying. This is not going to be a forever thing for us, but we both want to lose about like 5 more pounds to get back to where we feel really good. And so we're kind of using this to kind of get us there, and then we'll just kind of be watching what we eat once we get there. So I don't know. I know I couldn't do this forever. It would kill me. But it's not as hard as I thought. I guess that's the lesson there. It's just really not. So before I do my mascara, the blush, bronzer, all that I wanted to do, I wanted to use the Wet n Wild contour stick. I haven't talked about this in a while, and frankly, I haven't used it in a while. I like to like warm it up on my hand to kind of get the cream going, but I literally just take it. The texture of this reminds me a little bit more of the, actually the Milk makeup stick. I always think this is going to be a little harder to blend. It's not. I always think it's going to be like the Nude Sticks one in Bondi Bay I like, but I think I might declutter it soon because I just prefer the Milk makeup one and the Wet n Wild one. They're just a little easier to blend. I do feel like now that I've used it more, and maybe it's because it's getting older, the Nude Sticks Bondi Bay I feel like sometimes can be harder to blend, and maybe it is because it's getting older. I don't know, but I just feel like the Milk and the Wet n Wild one are just easier. So those are my thoughts on that. I don't know. This Wet n Wild one is so inexpensive and it is so good. The shade I have is 804A Oaks on You. It can be a little harsh. It's definitely a bronzy shade. This is one of those great products to bring like on vacation. Like if you're wanting to look uber glowy, this will do it if you're near my skin tone. And the brush I used, of course, is my Sephora Pro Domed Stippling number 41, my favorite. So this is another product I enjoy. I don't talk about much. The Wander Beauty Trip for 2. There's this bronzer I don't really need, but this blush in Bellini I think is so pretty. These powders are really nice and even looking when you put them on, and they last really well. And if you're someone that you'd prefer to just have a blush and bronzer together and maybe have a different highlight, like you don't want all 3, I think they have another shade of this too. And sometimes I will just grab a sponge to kind of blend the bronzer and blush. What were we just talking about though? I feel like it was kind of important. It always is, and I never remember what I was talking about. But the highlight I'm going to use, I haven't used this in a hot minute. It is so pretty. The Lorac Daylight highlighter. It is so gorgeous. I don't remember why I bought this. I don't remember if I just bought it on a whim at the store or if it was like another YouTuber I saw talk about it. but it is pigmented. You have to like wipe a little bit of this bad boy off because it is wild. I love it though. It is so, so pretty. And the powder is so creamy. I really enjoy it, especially if you're more fair, because it's definitely like a light highlight. So for mascara, I just opened a brand new of my Lancome Monsieur. I always say it wrong. I'm sorry. Monsieur Big. Thank you. I know that. Like, but for some reason, I always see it as Monsieur, the way they, and so I always say it wrong, but I know it's Monsieur. All right. So I feel like what we were talking about was important. When I go back as I'm looking through this and like throwing the product shots on, I'm going to be so mad at myself because it was something important and I cannot remember what it was. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I really do like this mascara. My Thrive one is, I think, finally on its way out. I think it lasted, I don't know, maybe 4 months. I was hoping it would last 6, but I can still use it and I will, but it's definitely not quite the same. Like it's clumping up a little bit quicker. And so I feel like that tells me, I mean, this is my first Thrive mascara I've ever used. That tells me I think it's kind of on its way out. So I'm going to keep using it off and on, but it's just not quite the same amazing results I had with like the first 3 months of using it. But it's amazing. I'm definitely going to buy it again, but I'm going to go ahead and use this Monsieur Big. But yeah, this one I do like. I think after a week or two of it being open, it's even better when it comes to volume. But I think it does a good job of separating. It can look kind of fanned out and just pretty. But right now, literally, this is like day 2 or 3 of me using this, so it's not quite as good as I typically like it. Let's curl this other side, though. It's going to kill me that I can't remember what I was talking about. I just have this feeling inside like, oh, it was important. Anyway, what else can we talk about? Trying to think. Oh, we were talking about intermittent fasting. I think I was done talking about that. Anyway, what YouTubers are you guys watching lately? I've tried a few new YouTubers. Like I found a few the other day that I was like, oh, that kind of do what I do, like lifestyle-y or... But do you ever like subscribe to a YouTuber based on like one video, you know? And then you're like, wait a minute, who is this? Like you see a video and you're like, who is this? And then you watch it and you're like, oh, and then you don't like them. It sounds really mean. There are plenty of YouTubers I find, discover, and subscribe to and then love, and then they become a part of like my, you know, subscription feed, and I love that. But every once in a while I'll subscribe to one and I have no idea, like I didn't remember what they looked like or whatever, and I'm like, who is this? That's all. That's the whole story there. So, another fun update, if you haven't seen we redid our family room, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out, and I did a reveal video where I show the before and after, so I can link that up in the eye and down below. That was so much fun. It was so much fun to do. We kind of took our time with it, but I share like every little detail with you guys. Oh, for lips, I was just going to go simple. Like I said, I'm going to run some errands today. This is the Dior Lip Glow. I've almost used this up. Like there's a little bit left. I really like this. I had this for a long time. It's just one of those balms that kind of turns pinkish or just turns into a kind of light pink color. I think they say it's like based on pH level. I don't know how true any of that is, but it is just one of those nice, easy lip products that you don't have to think about. You don't really need a mirror with. You don't need to check up on it throughout the day. So yeah, I feel like this all turned out really nicely. As I'm looking at this pile of products I don't really talk about a lot, I really am reminded how much I like the NARS Sheer Glow. I don't like it with a brush. Honestly, I don't even like it with a sponge. This is just one of those that I have to use my fingers with and it looks so much better. I don't know what it is about it, but I like the kind of light to medium coverage. I think it can look kind of glowy. I do think it looks even better with some kind of glowy base. So those are two I'm excited to use some more. The Colourpop palette I really didn't talk about a lot, but I just think it's really nice. All of the colors are, I don't use all of them. Like that red I don't really use, that one I don't use, but these shimmers are absolutely stunning. They've got enough kind of medium matte shades for me to blend with. This Lorac highlight I do think is just absolutely stunning. It's just one of those. And I really do like the Milk loose powder. I think it's really pretty. There's a reason I've kept it. I've gotten really back into loose powders. I'd strayed away from them for a while, but lately I've gotten back into them because it really does make my makeup last so much longer. And I just kind of pick and choose. If it's a day that I'm going to be in harsh lighting where powder might look weird, or if I'm going to be like in the sun, a lot of times I'll skip it because I know it might not look as good as I like, but other days I will use it because I do think it lasts a lot longer. So I hope you enjoyed this one take, kind of get ready with me, whatever, and just playing with products I haven't talked about. I haven't given a lot of love on my channel. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, subscribe. If you're new, thank you for watching my video. My name is Jessica. I do 3 videos a week, beauty, lifestyle, home, all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. We did it. We did it, Jess, and you only picked your nose, I think, once. I'm not sure. Bye, guys.